Hey, if you're like me and you have a nice 3D printer just sitting here, sometimes you're like, what should I print? I do it as a hobby. I don't do this to make money, just literally print stuff from around the house or things that I think are cool. I just wanted to make a quick video showing a few things that are actually helpful or useful for use around the house and might help you keep organized and that sort of thing. So take a look and enjoy. All right, first up on the list is a modular battery storage system. And basically, it's in a nice case right here. It has two latches. And what's cool about this is it's modular, just like it says. So you can print custom ones to fit whatever needs you have as far as your batteries are concerned. There's even a section over here where you can pull these out and keep your CR2032 batteries nice and organized. You know, I have AA, AAA, etc., etc. You get it. I love having this thing. I know where all of my batteries are at, and the whole family knows. It's a great addition. I have a Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon, and this is a spare parts kit. Now, there is a little bit of hardware needed, but you can just get like a M3 set on Amazon for pretty cheap. But this thing is awesome. Dude, this thing actually latches, and voila, look at that. Extra Bowden tube in here. Of course, I have all these extra spare parts if I need it. And what's cool is on the bottom of this, if you actually use the AMS and do the multicolored, it'll actually say, I don't know if you can see, but it says hot end thermistor, right? And there it is, thermistor for hot end. So nice and organized. I really love this thing. I know where all my spare parts are at. However, I actually have a couple more of these just because I think they're so cool. There's another one here. It's a little toolbox. There's a bunch of these on Maker World to look at. This one is relatively new. I didn't have a lot of spare parts for that one. I have another box here, and what's cool about this one is I have magnets on there that just press fit in there. Boom. And then this is the very first one I ever did. I do really like that. It's a little rough on the finish because I didn't know what I was doing. This is when I first got my printer. There's some, anyways, really bad finish. Ignore that. But very cool. Put your extra hot ends and that, you know, the Allen wrench and that sort of thing. So definitely recommend printing something for all your spare parts. Of course, you're going to want to print a stand for your phone so you can kind of prop it up while you're watching it. It doesn't have to be elaborate like this. It could just be just like a very simple thing. These are actually very easy to design in Fusion Autodesk if you so desire. You don't have to have the fancy shape. You can just do the shape and then extrude it up. But definitely recommend printing a couple of those. Of course, you can build these shelves. They're like stackable shelves here, or you can put a bunch of stuff, or like a little organizer for your needle nose pliers, scissors, X-Acto knife, what have you. This does use up a little bit of filament if you're doing these bigger ones, but it's a good thing to, I didn't like this color, so if you have filament you don't really like the color of, I mean, this is a great thing to kind of use it on. One thing I really like, I bought the color swatches from Bamboo, and then I 3D printed these plates to kind of go on there, so at a glance you can see essentially not all, but you know, most of the different colors they have. I really wish they had it for everything, but you know, there is PLA matte, ABS. They discontinued this, but PLA tough, PETG, and then they have a couple PLA, PETG carbon fiber. But nothing beats kind of looking at the actual filament color in person to determine what's best for your project. Another thing that was very handy was I 3D printed a stand. This was the first model I printed, but then I did this one. Basically a laptop stand. So if you want your laptop raised a little bit, pop your laptop on here, and you know, it brings it up a few inches, which ergonomically could work for you. Definitely something worthwhile. If you're like me and you like the original Pringles, keep the lid. This little plastic lid right here. All you need to do is 3D print one of these bad boys, and boom, you got yourself a container. In fact, I've done that for a few things. I did this to I dried out some of this desiccant, but I think I actually burnt it, which is a whole story in and of itself. But didn't know where to put it, but I had a couple of these containers laying around. You know, I love these little storage boxes and stuff, and this is a really good use of the Pringles lid. And finally, if you have a Magic Mouse for Apple, I found this file that makes this thing a little more ergonomic, and I use it to this day. It was a little tricky trying to get it to fit on there, but once it's in there and it kind of like presses in there, you're good to go. And I've been using this for probably the last 2 years, and it is fantastic. So definitely recommend that. So hopefully you found some value in some of this stuff, or giving you some ideas on things you can 3D print. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.